Hey guys, gals, and others. It's the Cannabis Crone. I was going to do a stitch video where I stitched into that guy that, um, about the 4B movement. He's like, well, what do women want to do if they don't want to have babies and families and all that other stuff? And I was going to do something cute, like, rather than asking what we bring to the table, what do you bring to the table? And then I have my little table full of all my witchy stuff. But something feels wrong to me. And so I'm just going to, because I mean, my TikTok, the one thing I promised when I started my YouTube channel and then came on TikTok was I was always going to be transparent. I was always going to be honest about what I was feeling. Um, and I feel like we got to be real careful with this 4B movement. And here's why. There are men out there who deserve our scorn, our disgust. They should be shunned from society. These are the sexual predators, the traffickers, the men who beat up their wives for no good reason, except that they're just fucking scumbags. There are men out there like that. I worked in the domestic violence field for 22 years. I've seen a lot of shitty men, but I've also seen a lot of good men. I've experienced a lot of good men. I've met a lot of good men. Masculine men who are amazing fathers. My father was one, actually. My father was my first introduction to what a good man truly was. And I miss him every day, and he was the best dad. So my concern about the 4B movement is that anytime there is something that is so prevalent in our society that it distracts us, I think we need to look beyond that, behind the curtain. Because I always wonder if this is a distraction that's meant to divide us. There's an election coming up. We've got two shitty-ass choices. We've got Biden, who is a white, rich, male rapist. We've got Trump, who is a white, rich, male rapist. They're both older than fuck. I think they're both kind of delusional. Maybe one more than the other. I don't know. But it always seems like election years are when these big, major issues come up. I mean, we've had so many of them, And then the real news, the stuff that's really going on. I mean, have you heard anything about Hawaii? Has anyone heard anything about Maui since that all happened? Like, it was hot for a month, then it gets dropped. We're not hearing as much as we heard before about Palestine. The Palestinian people are still, I mean, they're trying to bomb them into obscurity. It's still happening. There's still children being murdered and families, and they don't have water, they don't have electricity, but we are not hearing about it as much anymore. Our news cycle is so fast now, ever since the advent of cable news, that it's hard to keep up. But I think we really need to back up, take a breath, and think about who benefits from the 4B movement if men and women are divided. So now we've got a division among the genders, we've got divisions among cultures, we've got divisions among religions. Who's doing that? Who wants all this division in America? I'm just curious. Who would benefit from the division of all the poor working class if all of a sudden men and women were like totally on opposite sides, where and who benefits from that? Who benefits from dividing America? We really, really have to start looking at this stuff objectively. It's hard. It's hard because these subjects, they impassion us. They're something that we believe in, that we want to, we want to be a part of. We're angry. We want to do something. We want to feel strong. We want to feel powerful. And these false movements, these movements that are kind of made up and then pushed, made up by, I wouldn't be surprised if if an agent provocateur was in charge, had started the 4B movement, like just started with a few tweets and stuff like that. Again, there are men who we just shouldn't date, who we shouldn't give the time of day. And then there are men that are worth our time. And that's going to have to be on an individual basis for each person and what you're willing to put up with and your boundaries and everything. But just a 4B movement across the board. We're done with men. We're finished with men. The oligarchs are cheering in their seats. They are watching us eating popcorn as if we were some exotic scientific study. They're learning how to manipulate us by leaps and bounds. It's been going on for centuries. And now they're seeking to divide the sexes. Everything that they are doing up to this point is meant to divide and conquer. And believe me, if we get divided, we will be conquered. As women, we are strong, yes. Do we need men? No, we don't need them. But our species is not an independent species, nor should it be a dependent species. It's interdependent. I've already talked too long. I just, we need to be smarter. We are being manipulated. We are being led right down that slaughter chute. And we're putting our hands in the air and fist bumping each other like this is something that we've accomplished. We haven't accomplished anything until we topple this fucking government. Until we get rid of Congress, until we get rid of all of the leadership and start fresh. This shit is going to keep happening. They're going to keep trying to divide us. So just keep a critical head, okay? Again, some men are shit. Some men are great. Yes, as women, we've been oppressed and objectified and everything. But don't let this be a reaction, a knee-jerk reaction to a much bigger issue, which is dividing us so that we're easier to control. Just my 2 cents. I hope everyone has a beautiful day. Get out there if you can. Spring is upon us. Namaste.